We're the awards addicts. I'm Kyle. That's Tristan. We talk
Hello.
about awards. Tristan, where should we start with Con?
Um,
Guide us.
all right. So I was kind of thinking before maybe we build our way up to Palme d'Or, tease you guys a little bit, but I think I've had a change of heart, and I think we should just jump right into it, talk about the Palme d'Or.
Rip the Band-Aid off?
Just in case, there's some people out there who are going to click on this video and then not watch the rest of the video and give up on us. I think we should just rip the Band-Aid off, talk about the in-competition titles, and then we'll move over and talk about what everyone wants to talk about, Critics Week.
Lol. True. Or Uncertain Regard. I mean, there was like a lot of big stuff there, like Urchin.
We love Uncertain Regard.
The Chronology of Water. But yes, this is it's been a fun time.
It has. I guess we can start in competition. Where do you want to start in competition? Do you want to talk?
I mean, I think we'll start with the Palme. Yeah.
All right.
Simple Accent won the Palme d'Or. And
now, I have a question. What is it called? Because I've heard it called A Simple Accident, and it was just an accident. What's the title? Because I have no idea. I've heard it called both, like on trade articles.
Looking at varieties, it says it was just an accident.
So maybe they changed the title midway through the festival, because I also thought it was A Simple Accident. I was calling it that the entire time. And then now I'm hearing it was just an accident. So not sure what happened there.
It was just an accident. It seemed I think that would probably be the reported title if that's on there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But let's just go with that. It was just an accident. And this was a nail biter because I was keeping up with the in-competition titles in real time. And the way that Con works is that they invite everyone back for the awards here. Everyone who's going to win an award or likely to win an award. So it was kind of interesting because at the time that they announced the Grand Prix, there's only 2 films that had not won, and that was Sentimental Value, and it was just an accident. Mm-hmm. And so you knew it was between those two. And I was like, who will get Grand Prix and who will get the Palme d'Or? Both of them are Neon. It's Neon versus Neon. Neon acquired It Was Just an Accident halfway through the festival. And there was so much hype. And they said Sentimental Value for Grand Prix, and immediately I texted Tristan, "Oh my gosh, it was just an accident, Palme d'Or!" And I don't know. I feel like Tristan responded like maybe 10 minutes later, after it was actually did win the Palme d'Or, and it was.
I was watching in real time. I was not checking my phone.
We were celebrating though.
I was.
I think this was something you were both really happy for.
Yeah.
I've actually only seen one of his films, one of Jafar's previous movies, being Taxi. I haven't watched a lot of his work. I don't know if you're more experienced with his work.
Absolutely not. I've seen zero. But I do love, it's weird. I'm a big fan of Iranian cinema, and I've seen like a lot of films from Farhadi and Kiarostami, and I loved Seat of the Sacred Fig. But I have not seen any of Pahani's films, so I got to do that. I got to go through and watch some of his big films like Taxi and.
I really want to see No Bears. I remember that was being very high on A.O. Scott's 2022 list.
Yeah, I heard it's great, and some of his early films. I believe the one that won the Golden Bear is available on the Criterion Channel right now. So anyone who has the Criterion Channel subscription, you can watch some of his films on there.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, but this was one that was getting a lot of buzz. I think at the time on the Critics Grid, this was the highest rated film on the Critics Grid, if I remember correctly. Either that or it might have been Two Prosecutors.
I think it was Two Prosecutors for a really long time. It had a 2.1. I think The Secret Agent might have beat both of them, because I know It Was Just an Accident had the same score as Two Prosecutors.
No. So Secret Agent has a 2.8.
It
was just an accident, and Two Prosecutors tied with number 1 being 3.1.
Oh, wow.
What was interesting is that Two Prosecutors also got invited back to the award ceremony, but they never won an award. So I wonder what went on there.
I don't know if they were necessarily even, because the thing is that you can still show up if you're not invited back. So it's possible they just showed up to watch the ceremony, and
Okay.
we got duped there.
No,
They
because I
were like,
remember Kyle Buchanan like tweeted out, "True Prosecutors team enters the award ceremony." I was like, "Oh, interesting. I wonder what they're gonna give to
maybe
prosecutors."
Sergio Lagnista is just like, a good sport and wants to cheer on Pawnee.
Yeah, and at a time, so we'll. I already mentioned Grand Prix, but I'm gonna actually jump to director and actor if you don't mind,
Sure.
because this is interesting. There's almost never overlap. Never try to give something more than one award. There's like very much spread the love mentality when it
Hmm.
goes to jury festivals at con. And The Secret Agent won actor. They won actor first, Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, which was something that most people were predicting. I believe you were predicting it. I was
Yeah.
not. I was predicting Two Prosecutors, if you remember correctly.
Yes.
And Wagner Moura wins. I was like, oh, that makes sense. So now all that's left is Two Prosecutors, Sentimental Valley. It was just an accident. So Two Prosecutors is going to win director, and then Sentimental Valley won Grand Prix, and then It Was Just Accident was going to win Palme d'Or. But they threw a curveball at us, and Secret Agent won twice. It
Yeah.
won twice, director and actor, which is very, very good. Neon also acquired A Secret Agent, so crazy lineup. They won Palme d'Or, Grand Prix, director, actor. They also won jury prize with Surratt, which we'll talk about in a minute, which tied, but they also won a jury prize. So Neon had an amazing time this year, probably their best performance, and that's crazy saying from Neon because they've won the Palme d'Or the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty
but
nuts.
let's talk about the Secret Agent. And yes, this has gone amazing buzz. You just mentioned, we talked about it on the Critics Grid 2.8. Wagner Moore has been getting a lot of buzz for this. Do we think Wagner Moore is getting a Best Actor nomination? If you had to call it today.
So what's really interesting about this, we're talking now that it's getting amazing buzz, but right out of the premiere, I saw a lot of like pretty not negative reactions, but people who said, "Look, I like what's going on here, but this is so dense that I can't get into it, and I feel like it's kind of inside baseball with Brazil's politics, like far more than I'm still here." So it seemed like there were a lot of people that just really couldn't get on the wavelength of this film.
Mm-hmm.
As the film had more screenings throughout the festival, more and more supporters started to emerge, and it seems like this could be a really big thing, because I haven't seen any of Phil Ho's films before, but from what I hear, he often like dabbles into genre. Like a Bacurau, I think, was almost like a grindhouse film. Like it's like very violent, whereas this seems like it's telling the story kind of straightforward, but well, not literally straightforward, but like it's a drama, but it's taking elements from like crime noir as well, to
Mm-hmm.
tell the story, which I think is a really cool idea. So I wouldn't be surprised if Wagner is in the conversation. He's a pretty big name. Anyone who's a fan of Narcos is familiar with him. He played Pablo Escobar. He also had a pretty major role in Civil War last year. So this is an actor who is globally recognized, and also a huge force in Brazilian cinema. And him returning to Brazil to do a Portuguese language movie, I think, is a big narrative. So I think Brazil is going to get behind this, for sure. And I think the movie could also sneak into international feature. It's definitely going to be Brazil's, unless they select that movie from Berlin. But I'd imagine this is more high profile, and this director has been working for quite a while. So I'm going to say international feature actor for sure, but I don't quite think it's going to have the amount of passion that I'm Still Here had to break into the picture conversation.
Mm. Yeah, I think now you have to kind of start thinking about what the international slot will be at the end of the year, and him winning director of this early on at con. But the thing is, it's Neon who has it, and I know how Neon operates, and there's always this mentality with Neon. I remember the Origin and Anatomy of Fall year, where Origin had amazing reviews as well, but they just put their secondary movies to the side to focus on one contender. Even you can see this last year with the Norn and the Sea of the Sacred Fig, also got amazing reception at con, won the special screenplay award at con. And Muhammad Rasulov had maybe one of the best narratives for getting in the director conversation, but they focus so heavily on one,
I
and I just can't deny that Cement Ball is probably going to be their top number one priority. We'll probably do like a power ranking at the end of this of what Neon's priorities with like everything, including like Life of Chuck and stuff is at the end of this episode. But sorry, were you gonna say something?
yeah, I think there is this idea that Neon can only handle one at a time. But I think the thing with them is that at the end of the day, they are still an indie studio. So they only have a certain amount of resources. But as we've seen this year, they have, I think, more resources than ever, and their profile is bigger than ever before. Like, I think we are kind of dealing with a new company here because Honora and even Longlegs, which made them a ton of money last year, really brought them up a level, I think. And while I do think they're going to put most of their might behind sentimental value, I would not be surprised if we see them get one more film in. I think they could handle two this year
Mm,
if they're smart. But it would have
yeah,
to be. It would have to be. I think sentimental value is good. I think that for sure is going to
no,
get
that's
made.
locked in. I think
Um,
it's locked in for picture. Like
yeah.
I would honestly like put it like we're gonna do an updated best picture predictions very soon, probably sometime in June.
Mhm.
But I'd probably put it like top three right now, sentimental value.
Yeah, and I think if they see that that has a realistic shot at winning, which just based on what the film's about and how emotional it seems to be, it could have a chance of winning. Um, then I think they're going to put all their might behind this. But if it's maybe, locked in but not quite a winner, then I think maybe they'll go for two because they're not risking this film falling out, but it's not going to win, right? So they're going to put some of that might behind another film. But it all really depends.
Mm,
But I do think for sure they can get two or even three international contenders in because Seed of the Sacred Fig, while you're right, they didn't really put that much behind the film. They tested it out at TIFF, and people didn't seem to be over the moon about it in the way that I think a lot of people hoped. I think the narrative was almost stronger than the film itself. Not in my opinion. I think that movie rocked, but a lot of people did not love the third act and thought it kind of fell off the rails when it became a thriller. So I do feel like part of that is Neon seeing the reception at TIFF, seeing that people weren't like crazy about it and that it's not locked in for picture and kind of dropping it, but it still did get a international
international
feature
feature.
and it was
Yeah.
super locked into that. So I think regardless,
I mean, I don't know if I'd say that.
you were like, I remember you were
I
not.
was super hesitant to
I
predict it in
No,
the
it's
end.
to me. I was like, yeah, this is an easy one.
Yeah.
Um,
But no,
but
let's circle back and talk fully about sentimental value for Grand
yeah,
Prix
absolutely.
because I think the consensus behind most people was like this was the one that they were fully. Most people were predicting this for the Palme d'Or.
Mhm.
You were predicting for the Palme d'Or, right? Or do
I
you think it was
was.
just an accident at the end?
Okay, so I had this. I was predicting it was just an accident before the fest, and then I switched to sentimental value, and then I switched to Sea Rot, which we'll talk about a little
Going
later.
prize, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, sentimental value. I don't know. I don't know. I was a big fan of Worst Person. Worst Person is your number one of the decade, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
love
it was
it.
my number three of 2021. So I think we're both big Worst Person fans. I am curious to see how this plays because I think there's an argument for across the board contender here. I think there's an argument for Joachim Trier to be in winning conversation for either director or screenplay.
Hmm.
Um, and we've talked. I mentioned this in the last episode. My favorite Mamma Mia dad, Stellan Skarsgård. I would do anything for him to win supporting actor here.
And
I would really do anything.
I really do think that's possible. I think we are
Yeah.
going to be looking at, actually, I think we're going to be looking at one of the craziest best supporting actor like battles we've ever seen. I think,
Hmm.
and look, I know that sounds hyperbolic because we don't know Jay Kelly like but just based on test screening reactions and the love for Adam Sandler, Sandler versus Skarsgård is going to be an insane matchup. And I feel like these are both going to be very emotionally fueled performances from beloved actors in two very different sides of the industry. So we'll see
Mhm.
who wins out there. But yeah, sentimental value. I was so excited for this going into the fest, hoping that it would get really great reactions. And I think the reactions are even better than I would have ever imagined. Almost unanimously, I haven't heard a single person say this isn't just as good as The Worst Person in the World, if not better.
Can I? I listened to one of my favorite podcasts, and I feel like we talk about them, but when we talk about them, it's usually sometimes in like a neutral context. But one of
Mhm.
my favorite podcasts is the Film Comment podcast, and you know they're a little pretentious over there, and they're
Yeah.
all hating on sentimental value. I was like, okay, okay, so it's good to know that like maybe like the super art house people aren't super on board. Yeah, but they did not like sentimental value, so I was like, that's good to know. That's good to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see this. I think this is going to be probably one that will rank in my top 10 of the year. If it's anything, if it's as good as first person, then it's like locked in there. But I think
Yeah.
it's for best picture. I'm excited to see it. Joachim Trier, goat. I love Oslo 31. I love worst person. So I'm so excited for this.
I am too. I've seen all his movies. He's one of my favorite directors. I watched. Oh, I should probably say this. I watched every single press conference, not the Kelly Reichardt one yet, because that was at the end of the fest, or the Dardenne, or the Palme d'Or press conference. But I watched every single press conference of every movie that premiered in competition, and I think Sentimental Value was the one that got me the most excited, just based on the way the cast and crew were talking about the film.
Oh, that's very cool. I did not watch any of the press conferences, but I will take your word for it.
I'm insane. I was just like listening to them at work.
Fun, fun. Um, Actress was an interesting one because I think most people had Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love. Kyle Buchanan, he tweeted out that the Die My Love team was not invited back, but the
Yeah.
Little Sister team was invited back, and I was like, the only thing that Little Sister could possibly win is Nadia for
Mhm.
actress.
Yeah.
So we kind of knew then and there that was the prize that Little Sister was going to win, and I switched to my con predictions and I put it there. Um, and yeah, I haven't heard much buzz. I haven't really looked into reviews of Little Sister. What have you heard about this performance, Tristan?
I've read a little bit into reviews of Little Sister, but I will say this is one of the titles that I know the least amount of. And I did watch the press conference, and I believe she was on the. Yeah, she talked quite a bit about the film. Um, I heard it's a great performance, and the movie itself is just okay. And yeah, that's really all I've heard. Like, I don't know specific details about whether it's like what kind of film it is, or like the kind of sensibilities. But I do know that the director is a really big French actor, and just recently, I believe this is like her third film or something. Recently transitioned into directing, so she's an actor director, and really works with her actors to churn out the best performances. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this once it comes out. And I was a little surprised. I thought this was going to be either Jennifer Lawrence or um, what's the movie Sister Mother? What's it called?
Mm,
I'll tell you. Give me 1 second. Uh, you talk for a second, and then I will let you
okay,
know when I find it.
yeah. I mean, I thought it was gonna be Jennifer Lawrence. Personally, it just felt like that was energy in the air. Die My Love got like fairly good reviews. There are some people who didn't like it. I remember, but it just felt like it was like kind of Destiny of the Stars. I feel like movie bought it for that much because they're planning a Jennifer Lawrence, more substance style campaign for her.
Yeah, and I'm sure
But
they still will,
mhm.
but I don't think it's going to be as successful.
I think we're probably going to talk after this what movie's top priority is, and I'm wondering if we're going to agree on that. Um, are you thinking
I,
about Woman and Child?
yes, Woman and Child. That's the one. Um, I heard very mixed things about the movie, that it's very manipulative. Definitely not film comments taste.
It
But
was like a 1.9 on the critics grid.
yeah, it got terrible reviews. But which is a shame, because that director Syed Rustai, I think, has kind of been on the up and up, and people are really excited about him. So it's a shame that this didn't hit. His last film, I believe, got great reviews. Leela's Brothers, that got great reviews out of Cannes, and then never got picked up for U.S. distribution. So I was hoping this would be a good one for him. But yeah, but the performance is apparently very demanding. Like, that role, she's crying all the time, and it's very emotionally challenging. So I thought end up winning the top prize, but yeah, not her or Jennifer Lawrence, which is a little crazy.
Yeah, that's a little interesting. But I'm excited to see Little Sister. I think it just bodes that there's amazing performances. Both of those heavy hitters were unable to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but next there was a tie between maybe two of the most talked about movies of the fest. Honestly, I feel like I heard more about Surratt and Sound of Falling than I heard about Sentimental Value. It was just an accident.
I think that was because those two were premiered
Early.
later in the fest, and
Yeah.
Surratt and those were like right away, so we had more time to hear about
Yeah.
them.
But jury prize went to Surratt, which this movie sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And Film Comment did like this movie. They like Surratt.
Interesting.
So interesting. Apparently, it's a very strong vision. And Sound of Falling, the Masha Selinsky movie, which going into the fest, everyone was talking about. They were like saying there's so much buzz behind this. It was opening night film, and it was a banger. Not a banger for everyone. It was like kind of divisive, but like it was also kind of like a strong, esoteric kind of vision. So Neon acquired Surratt and Mubi acquired Sound of Falling. I do think Sound of Falling will get Germany international submission. I do think it'll be nominated for international feature. Right now, it's in my nominations.
And that's Mubi, right?
That's Mubi.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking, am I just going to predict like 5 Neon titles? So I'm glad that they have, yeah.
Mubi acquired a lot at this festival. Because they
really
also got the international rights for It Was Just X, and they got international rights for Sentimental Value, Secret Agent, you know. So Mubi was also acquiring a lot, and they got the U.S. rights for Sound of Falling. They got the U.S. rights for Die My Love.
And they already
Neon was doing crazy.
Yeah, Mubi already had Mastermind in History of Sound as well.
Yeah.
So they're really building up their library, and I was super impressed with how they went toe to toe with Neon. And you can say, Neon really won out, but Mubi has international distribution for most of these movies. So yes, Neon is going to be doing the Oscar campaign, but Mubi is like going to be raking in a lot of that money, because they've got like, entire continents in terms of what they're like.
They're going to benefit from Neon's Oscar campaign. So if Sentimental goes all the way, Mubi has like the international distribution, like the UK and Germany and like all the other countries. They're going to be making a lot of money off Neon if Neon pulls it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Mubi's going to do that for some of Netflix's titles too, because they had international distribution for Emilia Perez and Canadian distribution for Maria. So Mubi's going to rake in a lot of cash this year.
Did you see that article? I was like, Mubi has like a valuation of like $1 billion, and it's like, how is Mubi worth that much?
So, I didn't see that. That's crazy. I'm shocked it's that much. But from what I've heard, Mubi is because it's a streaming service, but also because they have a lot of partnerships with schools. So a lot of like the top schools, whether it's like Oxford or Harvard, all over the world, have partnerships with Mubi and rent it out so that they could show the film program, so that they can show some of the films on there. So
I did not read the article. I just saw the headline. I was like, $1 billion. What kind of Saudi investors are involved with Mubi for them to have a valuation that high?
I do think a lot of educational institutions are invested in Mubi, so they have a good setup. Like Neon, which I've talked about before, is a front for the Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah. No, but let's talk about Surat first before Sound of
Mhm.
Falling. This was something that like it wasn't on my radar really,
No, me
and it
neither.
just premiered and like everyone was talking about it. They were saying it's so great. And I'm excited for this. This is maybe my most anticipated. Neon picked up the rights, and I can't wait to see it. Um,
This is
I'm just
definitely my second most anticipated after Sentimental.
yeah.
I cannot wait for this. They released a clip. It looks amazing.
I have not seen the clip, but that's crazy. I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch after
it
this.
looks sick.
Yeah, and Oliver Lax, dude, this guy's handsome. Holy
I
shit!
know he looks
What?
like I don't even know. He looks like Hercules meets Jason Momoa, something
For
like that.
real.
He's like got
Yeah,
like this like chiseled chin. It's really crazy. It's like
I was like, well, who is this man?
yeah, it was
Um,
insane.
yeah, but this
Like a
sounds like it's
Chad.
yeah, for real, Giga Chad for real. No,
Yeah.
but I was impressed to see the reactions and reviews of this, and it seems like it's one that everyone couldn't stop talking about. Like it's something that sticks with you. And
Yeah.
I think that's also kind of the name of the game when it comes to something like a film festival where there's so many people who are tired and are watching so many movies. Having something that stays in your mind is something that's kind of important to like the ethos of having like a good film festival run and premiere.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is exciting and I'm excited to see it. Um
TIFF Midnight Madness, possibly. This could have that substance spot.
mm.
Although
Is
I don't
it crazy like that?
um it's a genre movie, I think, but I don't
It's
think
like kind
it's
of
a
music. It's
horror.
like an EDM festival, right? And he's like looking for his daughter.
Yeah, I think
That
it's
could be
like
a Tiffany Night Madness play. I could see that.
yeah. I heard it's described as like Burning Man, like the music festival in the desert meets Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh,
So
that's
like
hype as hell. What the
yeah.
world? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know really what the genre is. It doesn't seem like a horror movie, but it's from what I've heard, his past movies always deal with these like um almost like otherworldly landscapes. He shoots a lot in the desert. Um and there's always like these crazy things that the characters get themselves into. It's almost fantastical in a way, but grounded too. You're in a house. You did
Stop.
it.
You're not supposed to mention it. You weren't supposed to mention it.
Sorry, it just took me off guard. Like it's a beautiful house. Look at that. Look at that chat. Oh
Virtual
my
house.
god.
Oh my
That
gosh.
that is a
Yeah.
beautiful house right now.
I
Yeah.
switched because after this we're talking about Sound of Falling, which this is my generational house because I went through 4 generations of life. This was my great grandfather's house, then my grandfather's house, and my father's house, and now it's me. And Sound of Falling is about 4 generations of women, and taking place over 100 years, and it's gonna be crazy and weird, and I'm gonna love it. I already feel in my soul I'm gonna love this movie. I already feel in my soul. So I
Yes.
just switched to this house background, this virtual house.
Yeah. Sound of Falling, was this something Film Comment was on board with?
They were. I
Yeah,
think
I
there were
must
some
have
people
been.
who didn't feel it, but like I think most of them were like Devika was like super involved with it. She was like loved it, but
Yeah.
so I'm excited for this.
Yeah, this sounded pretty incredible. I don't know if it's totally my style just because I did hear a lot of people saying that it's, absolutely gorgeous in the way that it's crafted, and it's astonishing that this is her second feature. But it's hard to kind of find what it's really sinking its teeth into and what it's trying to say. But I think there are a lot of people who are comparing this to like Malik and to Tarkovsky. Those are huge comparisons. So if
Mm.
it's getting those, then I think this is definitely going to be a big deal. And I agree with you. I definitely think this is going to be Germany's submission and a big contender for international feature. I'm there's going to be enough people who are really on board with this film for it to get into that category.
I think as we're speaking, it's still the number one of all the con premieres on Metacritic with a 91. The special award went to Resurrection, The Gone. Special awards don't always happen. It's up to the jury's discretion. Last year we had a special screenplay award for Siege of the Sacred Fig, and that was kind of like an excuse to give that an award. Now I just don't know why they didn't just give Resurrection director, because I think most people were predicting Be Gone for director, instead of
Yeah.
doubling up on the secret agent. So the fact that they went out of their way to award secret agent twice and to curb Begone to a special award tells me a lot about how the jury appreciated secret agent.
Yeah.
But Resurrection, Begone, I actually have not seen his other two movies.
Me neither.
But he's a very revered Chinese filmmaker, and I'm excited for this. I'm gonna definitely watch his other two before I see Resurrection. I think
Yeah.
A24 is gonna pick up distribution for this. It hasn't been announced yet,
Ooh.
but I'm pretty sure A24 is gonna pick up Resurrection.
Interesting. I was thinking Janice.
Oh, that would be a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think they're gonna drive my car at?
I think they are. Well, no, I don't think it's gonna make it into picture. I think the thing with this movie is that I can't really get the sense of the reception around it because or like really what kind of movie it is, because I know it's a sci-fi film. I've heard certain people really dislike the film. So it's not quite like a Masha Shalinsky thing where everyone's appreciating, just how gorgeous it is. Some people are saying it's like completely hollow.
Yeah. Well, special award. They didn't give it like a real award, quote unquote, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Screenplay. China's not going to submit it because China only submits box office movies for international feature.
Yeah.
Um,
Nisa 2, baby.
Mezasu. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Screenplay. I actually had this in my awards expert, and I switched it last minute to Sound of Falling. I don't know why I switched it, and I should have stuck with it. But Young Mothers by the Dardenne brothers.
That is, I can't believe that they did this. That they're obsessed with the Dardenne. That's their 7th award at Cannes. They are like the kings of Cannes at this point.
They got good reviews.
Did it?
So,
I
got like a 2.7 on the critics grid.
Not bad.
Yeah. So it's whatever, but good for them.
I've never seen a Dardenne movie, so I can't judge. But yeah,
I've only seen The Kid and the Bike. Is that one of them?
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. I don't know why I say I think. I know I've seen the movie. But exciting. I want to watch one of their Palme d'Or winners. Well, it's one of their Palme d'Or winners. I want to see the other one, Rosalia. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I heard it's really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go down to the other movies. We're gonna maybe blast through these a little quicker.
Mm-hmm.
The Camera Door, which is directorial debut, went to The President's Cake by Hassan Hadi, and the Camera Door special mention went to My Father's Shadow, which is an African film, I believe, by Ankolia Davis Jr. I believe My Father's Shadow got acquired by Mubi. Let me just double check that. Really.
What is the Camera Door? I don't quite.
That's the directorial debut award. Last year it went to Armand.
Oh, so it can go to any film in any competition.
Any film in any competition, but like there's usually like one directorial debut, if even that, in the main in competition category.
Yeah.
Very rarely is there anything eligible for the Camera Door in competition category.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, movie
prior to Shalinsky. Yeah.
Her thesis film apparently counted. Shalinsky had like a thesis film in 2017, but apparently that counted as a film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, My Father's Shadow got acquired by Mubi, and this sounds really interesting to me. It's about a family reunion during the 1993 Nigerian election. And I don't know why, but this sounds really cool. 94 minutes, great reviews at a con. Screen Daily, IndieWire, Guardian, Deadline, Variety all gave it really positive reviews. So
amazing. Sounds great.
Let me check they premiered Unser Regard. Let me check their critics grid. Who was on the Unser Regard jury this year?
What's her name? The director of How to Have Sex was the
president. Mia McKenna. Is that her name?
That's the actress, I think. Let me check. How to Have Sex. Not a guide. I just want to know the movie.
You're funny.
Okay, Molly Manning Walker.
Molly Manning Walker.
Also a 3-name name. Like 3 different names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, where was I? I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I always get sidetracked. But yeah, no, My Father's Daughter sounds really interesting. Um, Golden Eye documentary prize went to Imaggio. I don't know what that is. The Queer Palm went to Little Sister, which we just talked about. And the Palm Dog, one of my favorite categories. This was won 2 years ago by Messi, the dog, for Anatomy of a Fall. Oh, but the Palm Dog this year went to Panda from The Love That Remains. And then the
Nice.
grand jury prize went to Pipa and Lupita from Surat.
I love that they actually have a grand jury prize as well. That is so wholesome. They take it so seriously for no reason. Although I will say, I do have a problem with the fact that they have the palm dog. But what about any other animals? Maybe it
Yeah,
should be.
cats don't qualify. It should just be the.
Yeah. What is that? What is that, Kyle?
It's
I
racism. It's racism.
it
I
really
think
is.
it's an outdated system,
Yeah,
sadly.
it is. I think we should have the palm du animal. The like palm dog. I know it rolls off the tongue, but come on, let's update this. Cats are just as great as dogs. As a
Birds
cat,
even.
birds, yeah, birds, alligators, bears. I want them all. I want to make sure that each animal gets its fair due, so that
Mhm.
we have a different type of winner every single year.
Exactly.
Maybe we should add this to the Addies, and
Of do we? I feel like we did have. Do we? I feel like I talked to you about maybe adding an animal category, and we thought it was
Mhm.
maybe just a little too goofy. But we can do that. I would be down for that.
Yeah,
Yes. The International Federation of Film Critics, they have an award which is called the FIPRESI, and they do that to a lot of festivals like Berlin and Venice as well. Secret Agent won the main competition award. Instant Regard went to Urchin by Harris Dickinson, his directorial debut. And the parallel sections went to Dandelions Odyssey by Momoko Seto. So, all interesting. Those are what film critics liked.
yeah.
Instant Regard, the main category prize, which is the Instant Regard Award, went to The Mysterious Gaze of the Flamingo by Diego Cespedes. Cespedes. Did you hear anything about this one?
No, I wasn't super following like the films out of competition, so that were
Yeah.
like. Sorry, can you say the title of that again?
The Mysterious Gaze of the Flamingo.
Oh, okay. No, I I hadn't heard much about it, but I think I checked Letterboxd and it seemed to have some really good buzz. So definitely one to keep an eye on. But the one I heard the most of out of in certain regard was Urchin, which seemed to get
I feel like I heard more about The Chronology of Water, the Kristen Stewart movie.
interesting. I've heard a little mixed things about that one. That
Yeah.
does.
I'm just talking about, like, I'm not talking about specifically in terms of how good a movie is, but just like in terms of
Oh,
general noise.
I yeah, I guess because that had like set buzz going into the festival, people really excited for Kristen. But I think Urchin's the one that everyone seemed to like unanimously be really enthusiastic about it.
Um, But no, actor went to Frank Dillane from Urchin, and Matt Neglia was raving about this performance in Urchin.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I'm very curious to see his performance when Urchin comes out later this year. Cleo Diarrhea for I Only Rest in a Storm, one actress in Urchin regard, and Harry Lydon from Pillion. This is an A24 movie about BDSM, if I understand correctly. One screenplay.
2 BDSM movies between this and Chronology of Water.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, I think both in certain regard. So that's that's interesting. Um,
Yeah.
and then lots of directorial actors turned directors in this category too, because we also had
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
which did not win an award.
Not for James Webb either. Interesting.
Unfortunately, I had to drop June from my predictions
Oh,
after the I think it got like solid reviews, and I think people did like her performance overall, but I don't think it had the strength to really um, point to her being a serious contender this season.
yeah. That seems like it will not go far,
I
but
don't think so.
our awards wise. But good for
Yeah,
Scarlett.
fortunately.
She went immediately from SNL to the premiere, so that was fun. Good for her. Directors Fortnite, Wild Foxes won the Europe Cinema Labels. Wild Foxes also won the Society of Dramatic Authors and Composers Prize, and the Audience Award went to The President's Cake by Hassan Hadi, which we talked about just a second ago, which won the Commodore. So that seems like it's getting a lot of buzz from the festival. And finally, Critics Week is the last thing we're going to talk about here. A Useful Ghost won the grand prize. The French Touch Prize went to Imago, which is a documentary we just talked about, which won the documentary prize is second going in regard. Left-Handed Girl, the Sean Baker produced. Do you think it will probably be Taiwan's submission for international feature?
One thing we should talk about, highest to lowest ended up getting like better reviews than I expected.
Mm.
Did you see that? Like,
I saw the premiere with ASAP and Rihanna, and they look great.
yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, no, people said it's really fun, and it turns into like the first half is apparently a little melodramatic, but once it veers away from Kurosawa's film, apparently Spike like really came up. He really cooked. He brought something pretty exciting. So it seems like people are liking it, and I think it's coming out this summer. I think it's going to be released on uh,
Apple.
Apple. Yeah.
It's the
So.
Apple and A24 collaboration, but I don't know if they're putting it in theaters. Hopefully they do.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. This is going to be a long video, but I'll try and cut it down as much as I can. And until next time.
Bye, and catch you later.